Datto's thoughts on Destiny going into 2025. Man, this is going to be a good one. By Datto.
You know, I do one of these videos every year. Most of the time, I feel like my feedback tends to be relatively similar year over year.
Yeah.
This time, I'm simultaneously out of things to say, and yet I have so many things that I want to talk about.
Yep.
Yep. I'm not too sure how I'm feeling about Destiny going into 2025, or even how to feel about it in general. Episodes seem to have taken their toll on the community. The game is certainly in a fatigued state right now. Player counts feel like they are the lowest we've seen in a very long time, if not downright the lowest ever. Things are not great. What happened in 2024? We had the second half of Season of the Wish, which was above average in my eyes. We had Into the Light, one of the greatest updates the game has ever seen, with a new activity, fan-favorite weapons returning, and a raid gauntlet activity. We had Final Shape, which I think Bungie navigated pretty well. And then came episodes, which are meant to serve as a transitional period between the old story and the new. These episodes have not done much.
The episodes suck. There, I said it.
To get players interested in the game. Post-expansion fatigue has come in a more brutal than usual way, with most of what we've been getting safely classified as more Destiny, in a time where we desperately need a shakeup. A shakeup that is seemingly, maybe, coming to some degree in the summer. Armor.
So I guess I should take a second to kind of extrapolate my position on Destiny, because I know there's going to be people, and honestly, rightfully so, who do throw the criticisms like, well, why are you able to talk about this? You know, you seem very aggressive going into this. Apparently you hate Destiny. No, quite the opposite. I really love Destiny 2, okay? There was a good point in time where I was absolutely addicted to the game. It's been great because Destiny 2 has been the only game I've been addicted to playing that has consistently pushed bad enough updates and content that has broken my addiction. That is a really funny thing to consider. I feel like you could absolutely do an actual a psychology paper on how Destiny 2 breaks addiction. It's really funny, actually. And I kind of need to see this paper. If this paper does get penned, please pin me in this on Twitter or something. Like, oh my god, please. Top 10% of raiders, okay? Not necessarily a big achievement, okay? I run Rudo Nightmares most often. I run Planets Duo. I actually really love the game. I love being able to go into Kingsfall. I love being able to, shot call raids. I absolutely love the game. The issue becomes the game. Also, the community to a lesser degree is like the community complaining about blah, 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 crafted weapons, bad, blah. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, you're allowed to think that. I'll just go grind like Path of Exile 2 or Diablo 2 for loot. I mean, they're short enough. I don't like doing 10 GMs in a row and not getting a single bait and switch. Like, not any single bait and switch. So, but we're getting into the weeds here. I've played enough Destiny 2 that I feel I'm allowed to have an opinion on it. Very notoriously. Have criticized the game in certain aspects and also praised the game in other aspects. I like Destiny 2 rating. I think Destiny 2 rating is good, even if you're spending 4 hours in Vault of Glass, because, oh my god, people cannot count oracles to save their life. So, yeah, TLDR. Been addicted to Destiny 2 twice. Actually really love the game. I hate seeing the state that it's in. And it's even broken addiction and sunken cost fallacy. So hopefully that gives you more perspective when I say episodes suck, that I really want the game to succeed, but it keeps shooting itself in the foot.
It's getting updated. Weapons are getting different tiers. They're redesigning the flow of the game. They're doing a lot to try to bring us into the next stage, the next era of the game in a multitude of ways that we'll learn even more about in the coming months. Which is why it really feels pointless to discuss basically anything that has happened since Final Shape,
right?
And why it'll feel pointless to discuss episode 3 at length, maybe when it does come out. We know that the episode format is not sticking with us. This was just meant to be a thing to tide us over until the next story begins. It's the epilogue of the Final Shape. I think part of the issue is that having another year of wrapping up this story and tying up loose ends that most people probably don't care that much about is a very long time to have to wait for the new story if the gameplay experience isn't going to shift that much.
So hear me out. The argument literally becomes, this content sucks. There's not stuff to do. You know what would be cool to do? If they kept the stupid fish tank. Man, I would be fishing for a seasonally updated collection log. You kidding me? Bro, they introduce a Vex 3-eyed fish, but it has like a 0.01% chance of dropping while fishing on Nessus. Bro, how many people would be fishing on Nessus, okay? There'd be so many people in queue. There'd be so many instances open, right? But the issue with Destiny is it doesn't have content because it keeps redacting the content. Like, hello? Imagine if I did imagine if I did 14 videos a week, 2 uploads a day, right? 2 reactions a day. But then I'm like, well, as we roll into the new week, I'm gonna redact all 14 of those episodes and go into the next week and we're gonna have 14 episodes too. Okay? But what happens if, you know, work or sleep or family event or lost Wi-Fi and people get to miss that content? I redact reactions of for a number of reasons. I've redacted a few recently. Just didn't really align with what I wanted to do. I felt that they were, you know, duplicate uploads. So I redact stuff like that. But like, cool. Now your audience, the player base of Destiny 2 in this instance, doesn't have shit to really do. And the shit that they do want to do isn't fun. I don't enjoy Vespers. I think Vespers is an inappropriate level of setup to get to damage. That is my personal subjective opinion. Take that as you will. I think that Vespers, if this trend continues, which we know it will, Deep was kind of the signaling of this, right, is going to gatekeep so many players that are not the top 5 to 1%. Don't get me wrong. This is not me hating Destiny players. This is not me hating the game just to hate the game. I can have a number of conversations with people who've been top 2%, top 1%, people who are just starting out, people who have hundreds of raid clears, people who have like a disproportionate level of exotic drops. Like, what is it, like 60 or 70% of Vex Mythoclast? You know who you are. Dude, it's so good. But like, there's just not shit to fucking do. And the shit that there is to do, there's a shitty catch-up game with Pinnacles still every single episode. And now we don't have weapons crafting. So I'm not going to fucking waste my time for random rolls, especially when Nightfalls can take 30 to 40 minutes. F that. I will literally go and play other games. I will go and play Fortnite before I touch GMs again. Like, good God.
If at all. All of our story investment and our energy went towards the Witness, and when that concluded, we were just kind of spent on that story.
Right.
The other part of the issue is how little the game has really changed and how we continue to have the same kind of activities, the same kind of events, and it all just gets purged at the end of an expansion cycle anyway. Episode 1 ended pretty unceremoniously, while Episode 2 actually felt like it had its situation mostly resolved, or at the very least, had a somewhat conclusive conclusion. Episode 3 seems like it will be the episode that connects us to the next stage of the game based off of what Bungie has said. And it's also where things are going to be at their strongest, potentially. A plotline based on the Hive. We're going back to a well-loved location that we haven't been to in quite some time. We're maybe dealing with villain characters that people enjoy a bit more, as opposed to Fickrel, who I never really considered any kind of a fan favorite. Sure, the relationship between Crow and Fickrel now is very different because Crow is an Uldren, but the events where Fickrel first showed up as the main gameplay villain happened so long ago that some people might not even know who he really is because that content isn't in the game anymore.
Bro, who the hell is Fickrel? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you play the Forsaken DLC? What do you mean? What's the Forsaken DLC? Oh, my bad, bro. It's not in the game anymore. Which is, so I hopped on, I think it was my Titan, who still had one of the Forsaken missions queued up, and I was able to do it. I don't know if it's still in the game or not, and just not live. I was able to, like, do that mission where I went to, like, the west side of the Dreaming City, where the funny tower was, and then see, like, Mara with her weird little, like, circle apparatus. I don't remember enough about it. But, like, I was able to go in, and I was able to do that mission. So I'm a little confused if it's in the game or if it's not in the game. Like what is happening here? And then some people have definitely touted around the idea that Activision owned those assets. Therefore, they had to redact those assets from the game in order to put stuff back in. That's why we're having re-releases like a Shadows and stuff. I don't know. I need a source on that. I would actually need a source and citation on a claim like that. I feel that is a perfectly acceptable thing to ask. But like, yeah, bro, who's Fickroll? I don't know. Bro, who's this Cade dude? Why is this Cade dude such a big plot point? When did you start playing? Oh, I started playing in not Lightfall, Beyond Light. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, technically, we do have the whole Cade 6 mission and the whole, like, the timeline thing. But, like, once again, going back to, wow, you can't... I've still never played Red War. I don't know what happens in Red War other than I've seen on, like, Angry Joe's review back in the day. I have no idea what happens in Red War. I have no idea who the clan vendor is. Like, bro... Bro, go read Return of the King. But I'm sorry, we redacted Fellowship of the Ring. Go watch Star Wars Episode 6. But Episode 4 and 5 don't exist anymore. Who the hell is Vader? I don't know. Figure that shit out.
Saved for one mission. It is not necessarily a plot line that I really cared that much about, nor a villain that I particularly enjoyed, nor was I interested in really exploring it further. It also feels like Fickroll and Crow barely interacted in the episode anyway. So at least with episode 3, we might be getting some plots and some characters and some interactions that we care about a bit more.
What, Datto unironically using bad juju? Let's go, base take.
More. Right now, episode 1, episode 2, just kind of feels like we're waiting. But the game is still the same as it's ever been. Same kind of seasonal content, couple of weapons worth getting for the min-maxers, same kind of this, same kind of that.
Yep.
I can only do so many variants of the same activities so many times before I just tap out. I can only hit so many Synthesept proc consecrations. I can only squeeze out so many Bleak Watcher turrets. I can only combination blow so many punches. And I can only come up with so many variations to these setups before I tap out. And I've definitely been tapping out a lot more than I ever have. I don't think what we've gotten is actively bad or anything, but it's beige. It's unassuming. It doesn't break from expectation.
Bro, see, I'm laughing. I'm not laughing at Datto. I'm laughing because I have very specifically said these exact things. It is aggressively Destiny. It is aggressively mediocre. And it's, oh, dude, it's I feel vindicated now.
It is safe, familiar,
yep,
predictable. It's possible that Bungie cannot afford to take gambles at this time, despite them needing to take more gambles and actually win on them, which is what it feels like they're doing in the summer. Why it's so predictable, so samey, I'm not too sure. Maybe it's wanting the game to be, you know, same, but different, but still same. Perhaps the disposable nature is part of the reason. The game is purged of a large swath of content every year.
There he is! Someone else mentions it! Someone else actually talks about how they just redact so much content. Oh my god, yes! This is the best Destiny. Okay, Tom Christie's kind of hard to top, don't get me wrong. I would love to see a Tom Christie reaction to this. Oh my god. Skeletor reacts to thoughts on Destiny going into 2025 would be great. Oh, chef's kiss. But like, oh my god. Oh, it's so good. He is one of the only people, one of the only large Destiny creators that I have heard talk about this. But to be fair, I mean, I only watch like probably Bife other than this. I don't really watch Aztecross. I don't really watch it. Not really anything against them. Just hasn't really been in my wheelhouse, right? Oh my god, though. Oh, this is so good to hear other people talking about this because I have notoriously complained about this.
Something is only going to be in the game for a handful of months. How much time do you really want to invest into it?
Correct.
The game doesn't change anywhere else.
Chat, why do I care about the stupid fish tank if the fish tank is gone in 2 months anyways? Why do I care about Maya Sundaresh and making Vex rock jewelry when it's going to be gone whenever the episodes rotate out? Why am I going to care about Hogwarts Legacy Light with the whole potion crafting mechanic when it's just going to rotate out anyways? Bro, I've been saying this for months.
Getting morphed permanently would have been cool.
Goddamn.
Even just the one section. That didn't happen. Still got the same damn planets with the same damn missions. For how much stuff cycles in and out, you would think there would be more of an impact or something, but it's just the same. That's not to say that Bungie hasn't done some good. Vesper's Host was a fantastic dungeon, probably the best thing to come out of episodes so far, although it's...
I do highly disagree with that. I highly disagree with absolute meta loadouts still taking a full 3 phases. Meta loadouts can get it down to 2. I think that's fair. When it's gonna take, you know, your dads and your gamers who have weekends off and stuff, when a lot of them are gonna go to Vesper's Host, and it's gonna be a 5 to 6 to 8 phase with their kits, and the amount of setup between each, I do disagree with this take on a professional level. That being said, if he likes it, if you like Vespers, I'm not gonna take that away from you. If you like it, perfect. Go for it. I had an awful experience with Vespers, and both people I ran with had the exact same criticisms that I did. It is an inappropriate amount of setup to damage phase. The fact that you can get boxed in a hallway with no way out because of the whole nuke mechanic is bullshit for all intents and purposes. I guess cool. It was cool seeing like Slife of the Sky Dragon Raigeki bolts hit down the arena in this phase. It was kind of cool. So that's my professional disagreement here. I think Vesper is the continuation of what we've seen with things like Deep. We've seen like Warlords, as well as allegedly, what was it, Tether being completely disabled for weeks on end. I disagree with that inherently. For a contest mode, sure. Contest mode, hey, we're worried about this being overpowered a little bit. Sure, makes sense. Kind of sucks, but it makes sense. Keeping it disabled for weeks with no fix, bro. I'm sorry, but Bungie fired all the people who could actually code that 100%, right?
Not actually included in the episode directly, which is a whole other problem. Episode 1 and 2 exotic missions were okay. That's not really going to sustain people. They've put out some decent new weapons and exotics and all that as well.
Sure.
And it's not like the other parts of the game that tend to be good aren't good, but rather they aren't pushing people to play more. Like,
yes.
Audio design being good is not going to get people to log in. Sorry, audio team. You're doing a great job, though. Yeah. Things just feel like they're on a loop. The state of the game since Final Shape, I think, has been a low point, also due to the proliferation of bugs and issues in the game that have come since the layoffs. It is blatantly clear that QA on the game is at an all-time low. We did have issues with Season of the Deep not too long ago, but that was a different kind of instability for the game. Yeah. It feels like Bungie is having to fix things post-launch way more than usual. I have almost no confidence in being able to just read something in game at face value and assume that it works the way that I'm reading it.
So I want to point out, do I have the screenshot still? Give me 1 second. I took this and I absolutely fucking laughed. So episode 3 or act 3 of episode 2, whatever the hell we're in right now, as we're reacting to this, right? Going into the Dreadnought season, I ended up hopping onto the game, and I played for like a couple of hours, right? Which is fine. I'm trying to find it. It is the dumbest thing I've seen in a minute. Ah, yes, here we go. Let me open this up. Let me open that up. I saved this because this is the most Destiny image I have seen in a fucking hot minute. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this magic, chat? So this is the funny, right? This is the funny, right? This is me. I don't even remember. I think I was just running. Just regular strikes, right? What's missing here? Namely, on the left side. What do I have ×2 of? Bro, this game can't be real. This game isn't real. I refuse to believe this game is real. And obviously the 0-0 is because I ran out of the buff. I don't even know what buff it is. Bro, I don't know what I have 2 stacks of. But I have 2 stacks of something. That is Destiny 2 in a nutshell. Oh my god.
If I have no confidence, imagine other people who are trying to play the game. Now, I acknowledge that Bungie is doing their best to fix these problems, But as I've said before, it is not the responsibility of the consumer to feel sympathy for the plight of game development. People paid for a thing, they want the thing to work as well as it can work. And then you have some stuff that needs to be fixed because it was just not implemented well. The most recent example, the new exotic mission giving 1 of a currency you need quite a lot of to get all of your tonics from episode 2 completed. Yeah, they fixed it pretty quickly, but why was it going out the door like that to begin with?
Because give me retention. D2 need retention metrics.
Had to have thought of how many of this currency should have been rewarded upon completion, right? It's such a small thing, and yet it keeps happening. How can we expect more from Bungie if these kinds of issues continue to plague the experience? How can there be any confidence? Bungie is at the mercy of the community right now, needing to do everything they possibly can to make them as happy as possible, lest they update a game without an active player base. I was a big advocate of dialing back crafted weapons so that I would actually interact with the game and go back to doing what we
I disagree with it inherently. See, here's the thing. Give me crafted weapons. I will be fine running 50 GMs, but allow me the opportunity to craft my weapon. I notoriously suck with RNG. I notoriously suck with gacha. I notoriously suck with random chance. Give me, and many others, the ability to craft a weapon. I don't care if I have to put in 10 times the work, as long as it's like not a second job status, like, well, do your 100 runs and you can craft one specific perk on one specific gun, right? Okay, that's kind of dumb, right? So I disagree on a professional stance for crafted weapons, because crafted weapons are what got me into the game. Crafted weapons are a tangible asset, a tangible thing that I can work to. If you want random rolls, sure, maybe keep it to specific weapons. Sure. If you want random rolls, maybe increase the drop chance for people like Datto who like it. And that's not to say Datto is wrong. If he likes the RNG chance, that's fine. Let him have the RNG chance. But also, let players like me, who absolutely get shafted every time I run GMs, multiple times in a row, right? Allow players like me, who don't want to deal with a random chance, to burn through activities to be able to craft weapons. I've said in King's Fall, it wasn't until I had gotten 19 red borders until I got my first white border Quillam's Terminus, the stasis machine gun, that LMG from King's Fall. 19 red borders. I was about to hit hard pity to get the red border for Quillam's Terminus. That alone is why I don't like RNG. Well, then don't play. Well, then you clearly hate RNG games. No, I love Diablo 2. I actually really liked Diablo 2. In fact, I would play it more because you can do Barris, Countess, and Mephisto runs fairly quickly, especially on higher difficulties. If you know your build, you know the pathing, and you have the right gear, right? But it's not like a 40-minute investment for the final shape raid, right? The GM for the final, GM for the final shape strike. It's not that. It doesn't take me 40 to 50 minutes. 30 minutes if I'm with a good group that knows the exact pathing, right? Like, it takes me, what, 2 minutes to do a Countess run? 3 to 4 for a Bale run if I'm bad at the game? One of these, I will brute force that RNG. For me, it is an inappropriate amount of time spent on RNG only to get nothing out of it. Therefore, crafting, where me and many others praise the game for actually giving players like us a chance to craft stuff, cool, that's fine. And that's fine. When you redact a feature like that, you will lose odds. If I tomorrow said I will no longer be reacting to Yu-Gi-Oh content, why should anyone who's a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh and stayed for that content react to that, right? If I were to stream Destiny 2 for a week straight and say I'm never streaming Destiny 2 again, if you only came to my stream to watch Destiny, why would you show up again? I think that is a fair give and take, right? If Datto tomorrow stopped doing Destiny 2, right? And you wanted to see Destiny 2, why are you going to stick around and watch Datto? Obviously because he's got a good personality and stuff like that, right? But if you're there for strictly Destiny 2 gameplay and commentary, and he's not doing Destiny 2 gameplay and commentary, why are you not finding another person, right? Like, this is how that interaction works. I understand what it's like to have your your kit, your stuff, your pulls devalued because there's an easier alternative. But some of us play, and that's where you start getting into the balancing aspect. You can roll this Quillam's Terminus, and maybe if you get it, you can get a special frame with it. You could roll it with a special frame that you could upgrade. Or you can craft it without the special frame, right? Seems good to me. Seems pretty great. It's almost like that's a balancing thing.
Used to do, grind some weapons. While I'm still an advocate, the community response on this issue has been so overwhelming that I think it is impossible for Bungie to do another episode of no crafted episodic weapons.
No, they'll just do it. They'll just do it. I think enough of us who cared have just left. Because we will go play Destiny. We will go, not Destiny. We will go play Diablo 2. We'll go play Warframe. We'll go play XYZ ABC, where we feel our time is better spent. So this is going to be one of those, and I would love to see it. Where's the breaking point for the people who advocate for RNG weapons, and eventually they're just going to be like, wow, this kind of sucks. I can't wait, dude. I'm ready.
That is no longer a door that Bungie can close. You might as well take it off the hinges at this point. I can argue all the points I want to argue. It literally does not matter anymore. Just bring back the crafted seasonals, episodic.
No, I disagree. The community was... So here's the thing. Here's where I will be a contrarian. The community pushed back so hard on it. No, don't reintroduce them. That's fine. Other players will go elsewhere. And that's the thing. Like, I don't want this to be seen as an attack. I don't want this to be seen as throwing shade. He's allowed to have his opinion, and he clearly has an educated opinion that he came to through his own, you know, analyzing the situation, retaining information, critically thinking about the situation. He's allowed to have this view. I disagree with, well, we'll just get crafted weapons back since people gave so much backlash on it. No. If you think that crafted weapons shouldn't be in the game, stand by it. In fact, don't reintroduce crafted weapons at all. I will go play other things. That is perfectly fine.
Whatever, and at least get one positive interaction with the community. At the same time, I am exhausted by this community, especially during November and December. The hyperbolic Reddit posts day after day, the hyperbolic commentary, the theatrics, the drama. I have never wanted to engage less with the community as I do at this very moment. Does anyone else Bungie bad? Upvotes to the left. Yeah, man, I hear you.
So here's the thing. I will defend the Bungie. I'll defend his frustration on the concept of, if somebody says Bungie bad, okay, why is Bungie bad? I don't know, Bungie's bad. Destiny 2 bad. Why is Destiny 2 bad? Destiny 2 bad game. Okay, you're clearly an absolute scholar. I'm going to take my business over here. I'm going to take my business elsewhere, right? Hey, why is Destiny 2 bad? Well, I mean, what are you looking at specifically? Are you going to talk about, I mean, what? Well, tell me about Vesper's host. What don't you like? And here's where I would rehash what we talked about earlier, my issues with Vesper's host, right? Hey, you know, Kip, I may not agree with you, but at least we came to an understanding. At least you did provide evidence and citation on why you don't like the game and you think the game's in a bad state. Weird how that works, right? It's fucking weird, dude. Like, bro. Like, and that is where I will absolutely defend YouTubers and streamers. I will defend them when, not out of, like, good boy points or solidarity, but, like, if somebody is going to bring a point, bring receipts, bring citations, bring how you got from A to B to C to Z, right? Literally show your work. If you can't tell me why Destiny's bad, why are we having the conversation? And I think I think he's absolutely spot on this. Why should he engage with the community if the community is just going to screech like, yeah, hard agree. At least defend your stance.
You want the seasonal crafted weapons back? No, I don't think Bungie is doing whatever they're doing to torture you.
No.
I'm sorry that you're experiencing FOMO out of some mediocre weapons that you would never craft anyway. I truly am, because to me, it's just not that deep. Bungie tried something at a not great time. It didn't work. Yeah, tonics didn't work either. I got it. No.
I mean, it literally is just Bungie wants metrics. Bungie wants retention metrics. That's fine. They're a business. They're there to make money. And here's the thing about timing, right? If I released this a year from now, right, going into 2025, but 2025 is over, and I'm reacting to it like we're going into 2025, is that the right time for me to react to it? No. Would it be the right time for him going into 2025 to release it in July? No. Timing is absolutely a thing in business. It's why you'll have something like the Minecraft movie, which people just unanimously are just like, this is a thing. Would have been great in like 2013. Would have been great in like 2015. 2025-ish? I think you missed the boat on that, Captain. I think you missed the boat on that by about a decade. There's a balance between that. We have to look at it like a business. So is it necessarily that Bungie's doing it to torture you? No, he's absolutely correct. They are, however, fishing for retention metrics. Why do you think RNG is more of a thing? Why do you think that potions are a thing? When you ask, why is Bungie doing this, right? Why is the best question you can ask? As it turns out, just business. They want more metrics. They want more retention. That's fine. That's how that works. That's business.
Joe Blackburn's legacy isn't being destroyed, and how lame of you to place all of the things the franchise did get right in the hands of a single person, as if he was standing up to every other developer and designer. Every time I see one of these posts, I just want to find more ways to distance myself. I'm embarrassed to have been a part of it over the past 3 to 4 months. Old me maybe would have been more combative. I would have maybe taken some of the points I've seen, formed counter arguments, and tried to establish some kind of back and forth in some videos. Nowadays, I pretend I need to use the bathroom and I leave the party instead. These posts, these sentiments, this hyperbole is exhausting. I think it's fine to voice some frustration about the game. It's better than not caring at all.
Right.
But some of this is just next level eye roll inducing stuff. And it's not like I disagree with everything being said. I actually agree with a lot of things.
You mean there's nuance to his points? You mean that he is a cognizant individual with his own opinions and his own conclusions, and that he can agree with certain things and disagree with other things? No, not physically possible. Absolutely not. Clearly not. That's satire, if you couldn't tell. Wow, he can agree. He can I agree or disagree with this thing. Also, if he enjoys the game and his enjoyment is being sapped out of the community, he does retain every single right to say, nah, F it, I'm out of here. I'm gonna use the restroom and then go grind Nightfalls for like the next 6 hours. He has the ability to do that. Like, it's like how people will say like, oh yeah, no, like Kip, Halo 5 bad game. Sure, I enjoy it. I'll go play Halo 5. I'll go play Resident Evil 5. Sure, you're allowed to have your opinion. I'm not gonna listen to your opinion. I like it for reasons I've listed in the past. I will go play Resident Evil 5 or Halo 5. I don't really care. Like, yes, that's how that works. Base Datto.
But I think I get better conversation from the Destiny Circle Jerk subreddit, and I don't know what the hell they're saying half the time.
Amazing.
I have definitely not played as much Destiny as I used to in general. At the time of writing, I have a small handful of triumphs to do to get the rest of the titles that I don't have, and that's about it. I have no trials or PvP-related ambitions. Most of those have been placed in other games. Deadlock, Marvel Rivals, to name some recent things. I have ventured out into roguelikes. Hell, if Destiny Rising was actually developed for PC, who the hell knows what my 2025 would look like, although I don't think we have a release date for that. It has been very difficult, most of all, to stay positive and stay upbeat about the franchise, about my own career, about my own well-being, especially when more negative-driven content tends to do way better. Let's face it.
Yes, it does.
People want to hear about how bad Destiny is right now way more than they want to hear about anything else about the game.
Yes.
Usually, I try to enjoy the times where we get new things added to the game, even if I know that they're not going to be the most thrilling, and I try to be entertaining and upbeat. But now, not even new content day can bring up my mood anymore. In fact, it brings me down. It makes me sad. I can't even enjoy the content because I got to race with other creators to put out 6 videos on the same day on whatever the hell drops. So I can't even sit there and enjoy the content.
I'm actually hearing similar sentiments to Gaijin Goomba's video on YouTube being different and stuff now. No, this frustration is absolutely valid, 100%. This is an incredibly valid frustration.
Top of feeling like I should feel ashamed for even attempting to enjoy the new thing, regardless of what it is, because game bad.
So hear me out. I'm about to have the hottest take you've ever heard. Are you ready for this? You ready for this? Who cares? I think the new episode structure is ass. I don't like it. That being said, if you, dear chat member, if you, Datto, enjoy it, who am I to take that enjoyment from you? I'm not. If someone allows it, you may have a conversation, such as, hi, I play Halo 5. I enjoyed Halo 5. To which somebody being like, well, you know it's a bad game, right? You don't have your opinion. Go away. I'm going to go play the game. Versus someone like, I don't understand why. I mean, I've heard these, we can have a discussion about it, right? A back and forth about it. Only if both parties consent to the discussion. As it turns out, everyone's allowed to have an opinion. Sometimes the opinion is wrong. Sometimes the opinion is dumb. And that's fine. Like, you are not obligated to have every single conversation, right? And that being said, like, this is one of those that is going to be perceived as negative. No, I'm fully in Datto's court at this point. We have professional disagreements on Destiny. 100%. I'm not going to say we don't. I'm sure I'm sure things that I say he'll probably agree with, things that I say he'll probably disagree with, and that's fine. He also doesn't have to engage with the content. He also can say, this purple-haired Kip dude, he kind of says, that was sure something that he said. Somehow turned an 18-minute video into like 40 minutes. I don't know how he did it. I'm going to go play Destiny 2. Weird. You mean he's his own independent individual who can ignore other people spouting opinionated subjective pieces, who can do whatever he wants, whatever he enjoys? Weird.
Destiny 3 discourse is back. The Destiny 1 remastered discourse is back. I'm not anti-Destiny 3. I just still don't think it's ever going to happen with Bungie's current plans. I would love a fresh start. I would love for them to maybe get rid of a bunch of tech debt. I just don't think it happens. I am not anti-Destiny 1 remaster. I just don't think that's what the franchise needs right now. I keep getting asked about playing Warframe, as many other Destiny creators have ventured over. I do not have any plans on playing or covering Warframe at this time. I am beyond burnt out on this genre of game in general, and the last thing I want to do is pick up another. I have 60 hours on Warframe over, a pretty long time. I got nothing against Warframe. I got nothing against the frame heads. But if I have to look at another weapon mod, I will defenestrate. I'll keep it a buck with you here too. On the business side, I'm seeing less and less value from my time on YouTube versus my time live streaming.
Sure.
Even with my live stream viewership also at all-time lows. Sponsors are really the only thing keeping YouTube competitive. This is my job after all, and I got to do what's best for me in every aspect. For example, in October, my editor and I pumped out 18 videos on the channel, which over the past 3 years is significantly above average for 1 month. I spent a ton of time in Vesper's host, spending more time in there than most people will spend playing all 3 episodes combined.
Yeah.
I worked a ton for the sole purpose of making YouTube content with hired help.
So here's the thing, though, right? I, as somebody who is like top 10% of raters, right? Sure. I look at, he spent how much in Vesper's host? Wow, he's clearly more educated than I am to talk on Vesper's host. I'm still allowed to have an opinion on it, obviously. But when it comes down to actual objective information and a more non-biased take, yeah, I'll defer to him on that. I think that that's fair. I think that because he has spent the time and effort, and as much time and effort as he has in Vesper's host, I think he is more entitled to an objective opinion, where my opinion is simply a subjective opinion that I have from my own experiences, people I've run with. Both are valid. If you're looking at whoever has more of a standing, yeah, I'll be the first to say I'll give it to Datto. 100%. You mean he fucking ran the content more than once and knows how to run it? Weird. Yeah. No, I'll give it to the dude that knows how to run the content. That's how that works. Normalize that.
YouTube was 20% of my total revenue for October.
That's wild.
The rest was live streaming. If we remove the day 1 Dungeon Race stream, which had an emblem for gifting a subscription to someone, then YouTube was 33%. In 2024, Twitch live streaming revenue was more than double my YouTube revenue, and I work about 10 times harder doing YouTube content.
Dude, I feel this, though. I've been trying to stream on Twitch. So, obviously, during reactions, right, as there's people who've come on here, right, and people who come on in, I don't see numbers on Twitch, and that's fine. I know from my subjective standpoint, that's fine. YouTube does pay my bills, and that's why I continue to do YouTube work, while I try to continue saying I do things over on Twitch when I can, like building Warhammer, playing random games and stuff like that. I have not seen the same amount of success when it comes to Twitch, but that is also a personal subjective thing. And also, I mean, for me, this is actually good information because I think that it's really cool to think about. And at the end of the day, I don't wish him ill. I think this is actually kind of cool that if he wants to pursue more live streaming, pursue more live streaming. This is really, really cool. And don't obviously, like, he has his own business strategy, right? Like, as he's explaining, right? But like, if he's clearly not seeing the returns, like, I don't see the returns on Twitch, right? Which is fine. You then go to the platform and focus on where you do see those returns. And that's not because a creator hates you. That's not because Datto is like, nah, Destiny bad. It's because, bro, like, this literally signs my paycheck. What do you want from me? And that's completely valid.
It's why I've been uploading more things from my streams, or trying to film more things on stream to convert into YouTube content, or doing more live commentary style content. It turns out all that scripting and editing takes a lot of time that I have less of. People are just not engaging with my YouTube as much, combined with the fact that I just really don't have that much to say on the game right now.
Right.
What actually sucks is that I still really want to make YouTube content. I think I'm a way better YouTuber than I am a streamer. I don't think it's even close. And I'm going to continue to make content here because I don't want to let you down. But it gets tougher and tougher every single day for literally every reason.
Yep.
I know that this is a Destiny-focused video, but Marathon is also something I continue to just be worried about.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't end up working out for Bungie, that is just not really good. So, what do I want to see from Bungie going into 2025 for Destiny? Put some damn money into getting some QA back. Bring back the season.
Bro, dude, not even money. Bro, I will sign an NDA right now if I was approached by Bungie. Hi, do you want to QA for this? Literally, as someone who did professional like games QA for a number of months. Oh my god, I would do it in a heartbeat. I'm sure if Bungie approached Datto right now and said, "Hi Datto, we would like to extend you an NDA. Would you like to be on a would you like to help us with QA on a private test server?" Bro, really? Dude, you could have so much free QA by just signing NDAs and giving back to your community a little bit, right? Like promoting them, right? Scratch my back, I'll scratch your back kind of thing, right? Like, hi, we give you Q&A access under an NDA. We give you esports like Halo interview kind of things, right? How Station 00 goes to events and stuff like that. You get like event passes, right? Or Bungie's even like creator of the month kind of thing, and they just kind of go like through Destiny creators who they're partnered with, right? Like, bro, you could do so much. You don't even have to pay for QA. Just treat your community right.
Crafted weapons and get people off your back. They could be the worst trash garbage of all time. Just bring them back. Bring back the red borders. Otherwise, I just want to see you make it to the summer without a full-blown community mutiny. Whenever you put out episode 3, good or bad, we all know we're entering a new era of the game, new storytelling, new campaign style, systems, revamp this, new that, revamp this other thing. The only feedback I feel like I'll be able to give is if I liked something or not. I'll let you know, I guess. Just survive. That's all I want to see. That's all I feel like I can ask of Bungie to do at this point. Is just live, survive, make it there. Beyond that, I'm not too sure. It feels irresponsible to even ask for other things while the game is in the state that it's in. I think of other franchises who add auxiliary progression systems or activities to their game. Where or when do we start to see Bungie go a little bit wider with this game? Where do they start to add more features, more auxiliary progression besides 40 runs of Onslaught 50 for a few dinky Triumph score? Usually I feel like you can only add that kind of stuff if you're stable. Destiny has been everything but stable, which is why they need to get stable, but that's, dare I say, incredibly boring for players. As for me in 2025, I plan on trying to make some improvements to myself. First, I'm going to be live streaming more. Exact schedule still pending. I have brought back multi-streaming on YouTube when I stream Destiny, but I have no plans to change the pace at which I push out YouTube content. You might see some more stuff ripped from my stream. You might see fewer scripted pieces.
Sure.
I'll still have them, but I want to keep uploading. I do not like what I've become over the past 4 months, so I'm going to be working on improving myself this year, both in and out of content creation. I'm 11 days in as of me writing this, and so far, so good. That's all I got about Destiny going into 2025. Just survive, man. Just survive and get some wins. Get some wins somewhere. Get people talking at least neutrally about the game again. Positively would be better, but like, dude. And when we get to the summer, man, I hope Bungie got some special stuff in store because it's dire out here, man. It is dire. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.
Nah, what a cool dude. I mean, I don't really have an opinion on Datto just because I haven't really watched his content. But I mean, like, nah, what a cool dude. He has every reason and every right to be frustrated. He has every reason and right and has done the work to have the opinions that he has. 100%. We do disagree on a few points. And that being said, if he likes Vesper's host, I'm not going to take it from him. There's people who hate Root of Nightmares. I love Root of Nightmares. I'll run Root of Nightmares back to back to back to back to back. I will do 10 runs of Root of Nightmares in a row. But there are people who hate it. I hate DSC. I can't stand Deepstone Crypt. But there are people who love Deepstone Crypt and go, shut up, dude. It's the fucking spacewalk. Oh, dude, please stop. No. Stop with the spacewalk. And that's fine. I think that this was an incredibly cool video for him to put out. I know that he's definitely going to get some backlash, unfortunately, because D2 bad. Why is D2 bad? D2 bad. Buh. Cool. Good conversation. But regardless of what your stance is on it, regardless of how you think I feel on it, like, I don't hate the game. I hate the state the game is in. I think that things like Vault of Glass, Root of Nightmares, I think they're great content. I even think doing like a group Warlords is awesome content. I think that I know my limitations as a player. I really don't solo content like Dungeons because it just takes it out of me, even with medic builds. Just not that good enough to solo content like that. But I mean, like, I want the game to be good. I want the game to be better. I want Destiny 2 to be better. And the fact that it consistently isn't just pisses me off. And it's pissing Datto off too, for all intents and purposes. So if you're going to throw shade about Destiny 2, if your entire fucking argument is D2 bad buh, and you have nothing to back it up with, kindly zip it and move on. If you want to have actual discourse, I hate that they redact content. I don't like that they got rid of crafted weapons. I don't like that the difficulty curve with Vesper's host went up, right? Sure, we can have valid, constructive conversations and criticism. Absolutely. When it like that's the difference, though. That's 100% how that works. So draw your own educated conclusions from this. 100% respect to Datto for making this. Definitely go check out Datto in the description down below. Make sure to link this original video as well as his channel. And honestly, wishing the best for him, especially if Destiny continues to go downhill. Hoping he's able to keep up such a really cool fan base, keep up doing what he loves. And honestly, ignore the Screechers. They're going to ruin everything and anything if you let them. If you enjoy Destiny, even if you have to just play it on stream and subscriber only mode, do it. There are people who will absolutely come out to watch you. So thank you everyone for watching. See you in the next one.